Look at him examining it. Now look, this is the coat of arms, right? This is Hawaii. This is the Moorish coat of arms from Hawaii. They don't look pale to me. He don't look pale to me either. That bird is from the islands. That means she's an islander. But she's dressed in what you call noble attire. This is not like a king or a queen. This is like a statesman or a noble. This is how they dress. Regular Africans or servants or slaves didn't dress like that. Look. This is their depiction of the crucifixion in the 1650s. He black, they black, they black. So you got Mary, Mary, and Martha. No, you got Mary, Mary, and Martha. His two wives, his mother, and this is the Roman soldier. Look. This is the Roman soldier. Now look. Look what's coming off of him. In two directions. A red ball and a black ball. Right? This is the old two-ball cane. He bumped straight, so they hung his ass. Look. Port of an Incan nobleman and his sons. Remember I told you that the attire was noble? Coin of Francis II and Mary Stuart in 1558. You can't tell me this ain't no nigga hair. Yahawashi Hills, 1320 to 1330, Italy. Right? This is Italian. Nigga, nigga, nigga. So we're going to start this video off. We're doing my invites. And now, when I see the first chat here pop up, I'm going to start talking about what the substance of the video is. This is about the grand finale situation. This video is going to tell the truth about Mary Barra and why the investors put her there, what her job is, and why we cannot get a contract signed at this point in time, according to insider information in the legal teams of Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. This contract does not just affect General Motors workers or auto workers. This is a contract that is a beacon of light for the entire working class people the world over. What comes from this next contract with the auto workers is going to set a new standard. It's going to break down some barriers, and it's also going to shock a lot of people's consciousness and awareness of what's really taking place in the world around them. This has been a long struggle, and as I said in an earlier video, over $1 trillion, many years and many masters went into the liberation of the Earth family. Every royal family established under the ancient code of kings is participating in what we call a redemption process for the people of Earth. And this redemption process required us to allow the devil to run rogue for a period of time so we can rein him in, seal him off, and sever his fucking head once and for all, and bring the principles of balance and might back to this planet. Now, at the conclusion of this video, I'm going to vex an ugly grievance, and somebody not going to like it, and I don't give two fucks. Fuck their feelings. There's a lot of people right now that is reliant upon this contract settlement between the big three and the auto workers. The auto workers are so naive that they don't realize that no contract, if any contract is signed right now, whoever's signature on there is going to be indicted for corruption. Y'all got to understand why you're not getting a contract. It has nothing to do with what the company want to give you, don't want to give you. It doesn't have anything to do with Mary Barra Mike or James, all three CEOs, have nothing to do with what's taking place. The International Labor Review Board is still under federal investigation for a corruption scandal. Y'all have to understand that. There's a pending indictment in a current person that's in IUAW pending. Y'all have to understand that. Because what I'm going to tell y'all is about to scramble y'all eggs about the law and this contract. Because what this contract is really about to expose is who sold you out. Because when they gave them the final draft yesterday, everybody's signature on that draft is the enemy. And I'm going to explain to you why. They're not an enemy to General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. They're an enemy to the working class people, the everyday person, the person that's unselfish, the one that work on the line next to somebody else and go home to their family at the end of the day. That's who's been sold out. That's whose interests have been violated. Now, for those at 5960, you can go ask David Michaels. In 2011, I asked David Michaels, do we have any stake as UAW in the boardroom when from the business side? Are we just worker side? He said, we have a small seat at the table, but we really don't have any sway. And he told me that the stakeholders are the ones who make the final decision. And I told David Michaels, I said, Dave, if we don't have any stock options, we have no voice when it comes to the contract and it comes to the working people, the everyday Joe with a job. If we don't have a vested interest at the table, then we really don't understand our value, and we really don't understand how to get what we worth. Now, this video, it's urgent that we share. And if none go viral, this one is. We're going to talk about the CEO, Mary Barra, of General Motors, who's took the lead in this negotiation process. And I'm going to tell y'all the real Mary Barra and why the stakeholders, which I am the prime stakeholder in all three, chose Mary Barra as CEO of General Motors. She had the full backing and support of the other two CEOs. Anybody that doubted, call them and ask them. If you ask them anything about Mary Barra, they're just simply going to tell you, we support Mary 100%, and they're not going to give you any further information. Sometime before the conclusion of this weekend, Mary Barra is going to issue a press conference in which she's going to tell you pretty much some of the stuff I'm about to go over in this video. I'm going to do a couple more invites because I made it through quite a few. I'm going to do this. Okay, now. So let's go over a little bit about the CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra. What y'all don't understand about Mary is this. Mary is not there to steal from the worker. She's not there to undermine the workforce. Mary Barra is not there to look out for the interests of the greedy corporate interests. Mary Barra is not there to deny health care to workers. That was my call. Mary Barra was not there for any other reason than this is the return of the matriarch. And Mary Barra done her work. What do I mean by that? Mary Barra as CEO was picked because as a woman in a man-dominated work field where women had been subjugated and suppressed, Mary Barra was handpicked because she was a champion of women's labor, women's workforce, and the determination of a woman to change the conditions in the working environment for all those involved. I seen the memes, and I also supported the thing for many years, because if I didn't look like I didn't know what was going on, then I would have been exposed as the undercover boss. So Mary Barra is going to come out and is going to tell y'all that she cannot currently, according to legal advice from her legal team, negotiate the contract under the current conditions, because all parties must come to the table in good faith. Because there is the appearance of an impropriety in the presence of the contract negotiation, at the current time of the negotiation, in the midst of the negotiation, there's an ongoing federal investigation into the corruption of past practice. What y'all not understanding is anybody who signs this contract right now is going to be indicted, because this is not business as usual. So Mary Barra was instructed that if the company wanted the worker to understand the conditions going on in the negotiation, they would have to offer a lowball offer that the IUAW cannot possibly accept, which would force the workers to go on strike. She did that. They did exactly what she was supposed to do. Now, why would they want the workers to go on strike? They don't. It's not that they want the worker to go on strike. They want the worker to understand the solidarity is where the power is. They want the worker to understand that just like corporate greed had been running roughshod over all of the common man, that somebody has been selected from among us to clean this shit up. Unfortunately for me, it had to be me. I would have rather been the help. I didn't want to be the one. I wanted to be the help. But since I'm the motherfucking one that I didn't want to be, Judge Dredd is now in session. So, knock 3 Mary Barra. Let's talk about the history of Mary Barra. Mary Barra is a young lady that came from a working class family. Her parents were workers. They were blue-collar parents. They worked in General Motors, and Mary Barra did her internship through General Motors. She had a love-hate relationship with General Motors and turned down her position several times because of the hate part of that love-hate relationship. So we had to give her a couple of clues as to why she was selected. Mary Barra earning every penny she got for this reason. The value of the integrity of the office she holds. In order for that office to hold its position as the #1 office, it has to have a substantial pay package for the person that holds that office. Now, Mary Barra was the most qualified. So when we looked out and we wanted to find the best man for the job, it turned out to be a woman, Mary Barra. She was the best one for the job. But what was the job? The job was this. She had to come in. She didn't have, what y'all don't understand about that last contract is it was pre-negotiated. Mary had nothing to do with it. But she was told to just let it ride, because this contract is where the worker is compensated and get their just due. So Mary worked her way through the college and her internship. Every step of the way she did follow the process that led her exactly where she is now. In the process, at the close of the age, women had to be in key positions in order for me to successfully read the timing of all of these events. And so, excuse me, y'all. So Mary Barra was watched, and she was performing above average as an executive. So we watched her. As she began to perform at higher and higher levels, her value increased, and you can see how she would become important to a returning structure of a matriarchal society, as humans are a matriarchal animal by nature. We are not living according to our natural selves, therefore that is why we are suffering like this. All of this wickedness is going on is because we're behaving other than what we really are. And so the contract worked like this. All parties must come to the table in good faith. What do that mean? That means that there's no blemish, there's no predetermined outcome, there's no conditional circumstances already ascribed to the negotiating process. There is no appearance of an impropriety. An impropriety would be that corruption shit that's being investigated now. Excuse me, y'all. Now, the contract, if it is actually presented by IUAW as is written in the newspaper, that's going to be fucking amazing to y'all to see how bad these sellouts are. because they already know that there is a pending indictment and it'll taint any contract negotiations that is signed at this point in time. So there has to be a method to take the corruption out of the process in order for the people to understand that everything is being done above board, fair and equitable. There's a new structure that needs to be put in place, because this old system is only about concealing the truth, stealing from the people, and subjugating the rest. So if you want liberation and you want to liberate a people, the thing that you have to understand, in order to liberate a people, you must know the condition. You have to go through it as the people go through it to understand it as the people understand it. Then you got to move above it, strategize, and find the exit. So, as I said many times before, I asked at the UAW meeting when we discussed our MOU, who had a plan? Well, didn't nobody have a plan. They looked at me like I was an alien for even asking about a plan. None of them had known that I had already been placed a plan in place for recovery for the worker. And all I had to do was continue to have my people buying the stock options. So I did a video last week called the $1 trillion recovery program, where it took over $1 trillion in stock buyback to get enough controlling interests of enough companies so that the oligarchy that was trying to subjugate people for eternity could not function in that capacity. A lot of y'all say y'all believe in God. Well, if y'all believe in God, y'all would believe in Rod, because God sent me. Now, in saying that, most people are going to say that I'm insane, but they're not going to address the evidence, and they're not going to address the facts. They're going to go by what they want to be the truth, as opposed to taking the truth for what it is. See, I seen this naked truth running behind this well-dressed lie one day. I dived on that well-dressed lie and ripped the clothes off. And when that well-dressed lie stood up, he was a naked man laying there, and I realized that that well-dressed lie was a cross-dresser. And so I gave Truth back her clothes, and she told me, well, since you gave me back my clothes, and I guess I can give you the key to the gates of wisdom. So here we go. I collected the truth. I found out who was behind it. I found how many of them it was. I sent people to get them, round them up. So the well-dressed lie has been uncovered. Now, the people that work at UAW don't have to take this shit serious, but y'all going to be indefinitely laid off, and management will continue to pay management as if they were working. Full pay, with benefits, administrative leave until we settle the matter. But until the worker realizes that nothing is going to move unless it goes through me. When the worker realizes that, then the worker going to realize that, wait a minute, the inmates got the asylum now. If this motherfucker really what he say he is, and he's really true to what he say he is, the inmates got the asylum, and we about to get paid. We about to share the motherfucking wealth in this bitch. The worker would know that. But because your leadership don't tell you that the appearance of the impropriety prevents any one of the big three from signing a contract, because no judge on earth would review this contract in the light of the indictments and continue to support it. The contract will automatically void itself. They can't sign the contract. The UAW worker has to find another method of negotiation. And I'm telling you motherfuckers once more, I got a plan. Y'all going to see the plan start to unfold, but I'm trying to get y'all to understand that this is where you get paid as a worker. If you don't understand that this is where you get paid as a worker, then continue to dismiss what the fuck I'm saying, continue to write me off as crazy, and continue to disregard this shit. Now, if somebody over there, I'm not sure if I'm going to say their name now, but I will say this. You hard-hearted, selfish, pride-filled wench. Get off your motherfucking ass and do your part. Unless you're an imposter, you know what happened to the imposters. Now, you can continue. You already broke the motherfucking contract. You already set me free from your motherfucking ass when you bore false witness, called me a liar, and falsely accused me of being insane. Don't you know that blasphemy is the highest form of sin? And their only recovery for that is the forgiveness of the one blasphemed against that you call God? You said you believed in God. You should have believed in Rod. This is showtime. The party is over. So you can get your stinking ass up and pull your fucking hand from by your fucking face, get on your shit, take the fucking survey, share that shit to 10 motherfuckers and get the ball rolling. You know what the fuck you supposed to do. Or, it don't matter. I don't need you. You keep making this shit, making people think that this shit about me and you, and I didn't give less than a fuck about a relationship. Fuck a relationship if these people ain't free. You gotta understand that. Fuck a relationship if these people ain't free. I don't need nobody. I've been by my motherfucking self from day one. Why the fuck would I need your stinking ass? I don't need nobody. So, I can walk this motherfucker alone, or we can all share in the wealth. If you're not part of the problem, then be a part of the solution. But if you're not a part of the solution, you are the